This community update was brought to you by U-Radio. Over 700 students from the Louis Riel School Division stepped out of the classroom Thursday with the goal of developing a greater connection with the land. 16-year-old Lacey Bird stood before her peers on the CN stage at the Forks. She explained that she was filled with excitement and pride in herself and her fellow students as they embraced learning with the land.
To me, learning with the land, it's recognizing that our land, like I said early on stage, that it's not just a resource, it's a relative. And the land, I was always taught growing up, had spirit. It was live like life itself. And to be able to go back to our traditional ways and respecting and living co-side with our land, it's pretty nice. Yeah.
Bird is also a youth chief with the Southern Chiefs organization. Through her role as youth chief and emceeing Learning with the Land's opening ceremonies, Bird said she takes her responsibilities seriously, wanting to be an example for future generations, like your younger sister, who was among the crowd.
It's a group effort, and this is decolonizing our space and our school division.
Bird and other students diverged when the opening ceremonies closed, heading to stations across the grounds of the Forks. These stations covered a diversity of topics and studies. Some explored Indigenous teachings, and others focused on academic sciences. Suzanne Simpson, a teacher librarian at École Provencher and École Véronese schools, got students to be hands-on, organizing various seeds while they learned about their life cycles and the role of foraging.
I think most kids think of it as something you can buy or something that magically turns into a plant, but we really wanted to capture the whole life cycle and empower them to collect seeds themselves. You don't have to be part of capitalism in order to successfully grow things. So we wanted to really highlight that reuse and empower them to collect seeds on their own by showing them the steps needed to take.
Until the mid-afternoon, students participated in these activities, learning and getting their hands into the grass and dirt. This day, planned to become an annual tradition, was inspired by the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, land-based learning, and the United Nations Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples. Ray Norris is part of the organizing committee for the Louis Riel School Division Learning with the Land event. He explained the day is part of the division's multi-year strategic plan and to create new avenues of learning.
Well, an event like this is an opportunity to celebrate together and to dream about what is possible for the future. What might we do, say, in the next academic year even, starting in the fall of 25 and into 26 and 27. And out of this, we're hoping to be able to spur action at a local level with the schools with regard to particularly the Sustainable Development Goals and this whole idea of let's take our learning out of the classroom and into the land and onto our school grounds and then clearly into our local parks as well.
In the Journal of Climate Change and Health, a co-authored paper from Lakehead University asked young people about their thoughts on climate change. 76% of respondents said they find the future frightening, with climate change negatively affecting their mental health. From the school division's perspective, the trustee of Ward 1, Ian Walker, said holding an event like this and having sustainability goals is about setting an example for youth and providing them hope.
I've done that in my own life. My wife and I sold our car a number of years ago, and we get around actively and use transit. We have turned our house into a multifamily so that we have more people living on the land that we exist on in the city so that we don't have to have as many folks sprawling out. And from a school division perspective, I think that, the whole point of teaching kids is we want to make sure that they have a sustainable future. We want to ensure that they can thrive when they grow up and have all of the things that we've enjoyed in our lives.
Connection to Indigenous teachings and practices was fundamental to the event's identity. Through reconciliation and understanding the 7 sacred teachings, Lacey Bird said these acts of decolonization are helping build a brighter future. For Bird, that history before settlers came was a way of life that can be learned from in keeping the water and the land healthier.
Whatever happens to the land will affect us too, and lots of people need to realize that, I guess, especially governments, they need to realize that what's going to happen to the waters, to our lands, is going to affect us as people. We're going to get sicker.
She says that she hopes that by the time the next generation comes, many things will have changed for the better. Full of smiles, with students sitting and running in the sun, Learning with the Land successfully explored land-based learning. The event will continue, said an organizer, but it will likely be under a new name. The future name will recognize the contributions and efforts of Cook'em Kentaban. Cook'em shared Indigenous ways of knowing and being within the division before her passing. Many explained that the pleasant weather during the day was thanks to the spirit of Cook'em. With you Multicultural and the Local Journalism Initiative, I'm Ryan Funk.